Hari Om, a very warm welcome to all our educators and teachers. We have a humble request from our side. We would be very happy if you can keep your mobile on flight mode so as not to disturb others. Thank you all.
A world where people can script their lives.
Hari Om. With hearts full of gratitude, we warmly welcome our Reverend Swamijis and Swaminijis, whose presence today is a blessing for each one of us on this auspicious occasion. We offer our respectful pranams. It's a pleasure to have you all here today. On behalf of everyone involved, I warmly welcome each one of you to the Purna Vidya, a Vedic heritage teacher training, inaugural and orientation program. Your presence truly makes this moment special, and we are delighted you have taken the time to join us. Whether you are here to learn, celebrate, connect, or simply be inspired, we hope you have a meaningful and enjoyable experience. We have an exciting time ahead, and we are thrilled to share it with such a wonderful educators and teachers. Once again, welcome, and let's make this a memorable occasion together. Now, to mark an auspicious beginning and invoking God's blessing, we now move to the traditional lamp lighting ceremony. We would like to humbly invite Swamiji to come forward and grace the solemn occasion by lighting the ceremonial lamp. The lamp, a symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and prosperity. Let's be seated. To begin on a serene and spiritual note, we will now have prayer song sung by Shrikarji and Srinidhiji, which will be followed by Swami Dayananda Saraswati School teachers also.
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवद्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया आस्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिः पृष्ठं गिरेरिव ऊर्ध्वपवित्रो वाजिनीव स्वमृतमस्मि द्रविडगुं सवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिसङ्कोर्वेदानुवचनम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः
We now invite the school teachers.
या कुन्देन्दुं तुषारहारधवला या कुन्देन्दुं तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिरे देवै सदा वन्दिता सा मा पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःश्रेयसजाड्यापः शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारम् शुक्लां विचार सार वधमा माद्या जगत्पापिनी वीणा पुस्तक धारिणी भयदा जद्यांधकारा हस्ते स्वकिट मालिका विदन्तति पद्मासने संस्थिता वन्दे मां परमेश्वरी भगवती बुद्धिप्रदां शारदा बुद्धिप्रदां शारदा बुद्धिप्रदां शारदा.
The privilege is all mine to invite Swamini Swatma Vidyananda ji to welcome this august gathering and bless this teacher training program and the teachers.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My namaskars and hearty welcome to all those who are present here on behalf of the Swami Dayananda Ashram. Very happy to spend the next 3 days getting to know ourselves through getting to know our culture. This is a very important step because, as we know, the motherland, Bharat, has been colonized for so many years in our history. From Alexander, not so great, not Alexander the Great. Alexander, not so great, all the way to not so great Britain. We've had a series of people coming with various purposes, some out of curiosity, some to plunder the wealth, some to take away whatever we have, some to rule and profit of the different forms of wealth that Bharat has to offer. This has been our history. Yet there is something which survives this relentless onslaught of colonization, proselytization, decimation, everything. There is something that survives, and that itself is the grace, great grace of Bhagavan. It's God's grace that it has survived, because the Vedic culture, the Hindu Dharma, is not the only one which has something to offer that we should know, that we should understand and bring into our lives. There were many, many great civilizations throughout the course of ancient history. Mesopotamian civilization and so many other civilizations. The civilization that brought forth the pyramids and so many other wonders of the world. The only difference is if we go try to understand what the ancient Egyptians were like, what was their philosophy, what was their knowledge system, we would have no way of finding out except through whatever is left to us in terms of written work, the hieroglyphics, the picture language, and whatever is in the museums. This is because there is nobody left to carry on that dharma, that way of life and belief systems, the body of knowledge by which they might have lived. So it is with the Native Americans in the United States and Canada and other parts of the world also. All the indigenous traditions that were great and that flourished have been decimated. It's not because of time, it's not because of just, it just happened. No, there was a systematic program of decimation due to colonization. And this, somehow our tradition was spared because we don't just have a vision and a way of life, we also have a very strong teaching tradition to communicate that way of life and to pass it on to the next generations. That is why the indigenous tradition of India, that is called Vedic Dharma, or Hindu tradition, Hinduism by many names. It's the only one that we can really pass on. So we have a very important, a very salient responsibility. A responsibility to get to know our culture again, because there is some way it has been kind of lost, as though lost. As Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita in the 4th chapter, Sakalena iha mahata yogo nashtaf parantapa. So it has been as though lost because, as I said, because of this whole process of colonizing, and colonialism thrives not because they are stronger, but because we have, in a way, given our minds over. We have believed the superiority of the Paschatya Sabhyata, the Western culture. Even now we believe that. Yoga nobody cared about 40, 50 years ago, and then it went abroad, and after it was foreign returned yoga, then we started to look at it. And same thing with meditation. Same thing with so many things. That is one of the challenges, because in a way, as many scholars have talked about, the colonizers succeeded because they made us into colonizers. We started to colonize ourselves. And that is why we are at this juncture where we have inherited the forms all right from our ancestors, mothers, grandmothers, fathers, great-grandfathers, but we do not know their meanings. We just tell our children, we light the lamp because our parents did that, and because their parents did that. And for the current generation, this is not enough, because they would like to know why. They are the new generation which has been reared by Google. They are the Google generation. They can look everything up, and the answers that they get there may or may not be satisfying. They are the AI generation. And even AI makes mistakes when it's asked to chant in Sanskrit, I am told. Some people have tried. And so this is a living tradition. We can't give it to AI and sit down and keep quiet. This has to be given through us, passed on through us to the next generation. And for this purpose, what do we need to do? We need to get to know this. We need to understand this like the back of our own hands, like our own names, where there is not a whiff of doubt what this is about and why this is important for us to understand. One more reason why this becomes very important is that the current civilization is full of various kinds of distractions where we have forgotten how to pay attention because of the various devices. Before, we had only to contend with desires. Now, along with desires, there are devices that feed the desires. It has become much more complex. What are the devices? iPhone, and then what else? iPad. If I don't have it, I'm mad. This is what is the current generation. And so, the focus, the ekagrata, that we need to conduct our lives, that the children need to study well and all this, it is not there. There are many competitors for this attention. And we need to delve into the riches of the past, our ancient heritage that had answers for everything, that had a deep philosophy, that is a lived philosophy, a dynamic philosophy. This is what we have to get to know. We have to get to know this, and only through that there is some renewed hope and enthusiasm to understand this and how to pass it on to the next generation. And I'm very happy that the training program is being conducted here by the auspicious river Gangaji and the wonderful ashram of Pujya Swamiji Dayananda. And you are in good hands with Ammaji. She is great at this. She has done numerous programs, and she's a very inspiring presence. And thanks to her, many schools like your school is about to have taken up this program, and the children are thriving there. Thank you very much. Om Tat Sat.
With such warm words, the spirit of today's program has already come alive. Thank you, Swaminiji, for setting the tone so beautifully. Indeed, a wonderful start to our teacher training program. Next, we now invite Sri Agarwalji, Principal of Swami Dayananda Saraswati School, to speak on the needs of younger generation. We welcome you, sir.
Hari Om. Thank you, Nivedita ji. With the blessings of Pujya Swamiji, we all are here to start a new chapter in the field of education and in our teaching curriculum. Reverend Swami Sakshat Kritananda ji, Swamini Pramananda ji, Swamini Swatma Vidyananda ji, and distinguished saints, teachers, the student participants, and various guests. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you to this teachers training program of Purna Vidya, which is dedicated to value education, Indian culture, and spiritual learning. This training is not only important for you as teachers, but also for countless young minds whose lives you will influence in the coming years. In our country, the role of a teacher has always been held in the high regards. Our tradition speaks of the Guru as a guide who not only imparts the knowledge but also shapes the spiritual foundation of a student. However, The world of our children today is very different from the one we experienced. The life which we experienced and the life which the children of today are experiencing is totally different. The rapid expansion of social media and constant digital exposure have created a complex environment for the young minds. Today, children are exposed to a vast amount of information, but a very little guidance, or sometimes no guidance, on how to process that information, how to use that information wisely. Many students are facing inner conflicts, confusion about the identity, and sometimes peer pressure, which often pushing them towards the unhealthy habits and distorted understanding of success and happiness. In such times, academic knowledge alone is not enough. What our children truly need is a clear sense of identity and a deep connection with their roots. This is where the value-based education is essential, which is found in our Indian culture and heritage. When children learn about their cultural heritage, they develop a sense of pride. Spiritual education helps the children cultivate their inner strength, emotional balance, and clarity of thoughts. I'm confident that this training program will empower you to carry forward this noble responsibility with dedication and enthusiasm. The work you are about to undertake is not merely educational, but it is transformational. And let me tell you, we are fortunate that Pujya Guruji, Pujya Swami Dayananda Ji, blessed the creation of these books himself. And we are the first school in Uttarakhand to launch these books. Hundreds of schools, hundreds of communities are using this program all over the world. We also look forward to the training and to this training and sincerely plan to implement the books in the coming academic year. On behalf of Swami Dayanand Saraswati School, we thank Swami Sakshat Kritananda Ji, who have given this chance, opportunity for all our teachers and the students to avail the fruits of this book. We also thank Swamini Pramananda Ji, who have all the way come from Coimbatore to give this training program to our teachers. Shrikar Ji, Nivedita Ji, Shenidhi Ji, and all other resource persons, those who have all come together to give this training to all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Your words have given us much to think about and also carry forward these beautifully crafted books to the next generation. Our next speaker of the evening is Shrikar Ji. He will be giving an inspirational talk about this program. We welcome you, sir.
Hari Om. My humble pranams to Swamiji, Swamini Ji, Ammaji, Agarwalji, all the teachers and students present here. I am very happy to be here and able to contribute to this program. I'm a student here at the ashram, and as we've heard from Swaminiji and Agarwalji, the main focus of the program is children and imparting values to children. When a child first becomes self-aware, they're still very small, but they start to ask very large questions. Who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going? So, in many ways, even as adults, we are still asking these same questions because the questions, they just get pushed down. As life goes on, these questions don't get answered. It begins with small distractions like a toy that comforts the child, and then it continues. We go to school, we go to college, we get a job, we get married, and then we have more children, and the cycle continues. Today, all these distractions also exist in just one place, as we've spoken about, in social media, in the cell phone. It was TV for my generation, and now it's the cell phone. But the need to have these questions answered itself does not go away. No matter how much we distract ourselves, a certain dissatisfaction remains because the deeper questions have not been addressed. So we see today children who have everything, yet they feel lost. And perhaps Indian children especially so, as we've spoken about colonialism and its impact on our society. Because the question of identity, what it means to be Indian, is often unclear. We all wear pants and shirts today, and we don't know why we do pujas or why we offer things and why our parents talk about Bhagavan and Ishvara and these kinds of things. We just accept. And as Swaminiji said, nowadays the children, they question these things a lot more because of the exposure to all the technology and all the information that they have. So it becomes very important for a child to have a sense of belonging and a sense of connection to their own culture. This is where the Purna Vidya program plays a huge role. Our Vedic culture has given deep thought to the fundamental human questions. Take a simple saying, as you sow, so shall you reap. We don't know who first said it, but it survived across generations because it rings true. In the same way, the values of our culture have endured, not just because they're ancient, but because they're true to human experience. And along with these values, we have been given timeless stories like the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. They're not just stories, they're a way of helping a child understand life, choices, values, and what is the right thing to do. Every human being seeks a sense of connection to the world, others, and to something larger than oneself. This tradition offers a vision of this interconnectedness. Great teachers like Swami Dayananda Saraswati recognize this clearly, and this program is a reflection of that vision. My prayer is that this effort continues and that these timeless values reach our children so they grow not just educated, but grounded, connected, and clear. Om.
Thank you, Shrikarji. We are sure our teachers will carry forth your inspiration of how this program is going to help the next generation. As Swaminiji and he rightly pointed out, the questions asked by the youngsters are numerous and some embarrassing too. So how to address them, is how to help them cross that is in all our hands. So let's all work together towards it. Thank you. We now humbly request Swamiji to enlighten the gathering. Your insight and experience are truly inspiring, and we look forward to the benedictory address. Welcome, Swamiji.
दयाकरं दयाकारं दान्तं धर्मप्रवर्तकं
प्रणमामि दयानन्दं मदाचार्यवरं परम्. Namaste to all of you. We are very happy to hold this first session of teacher training program on Purna Vidya in the very place where it started. It was the desire of Pujya Swamiji that our ancient wisdom in the form of culture, vision, values, disciplines have to be taken to the children, so that this tradition continues and flourishes. Somehow we have lost in the middle some time that the knowledge has been properly not handed over about this culture. The culture and the vision, Sanatana Dharma and the Vedic vision, they go together. The entire culture is based on the vision. The Sanatana Dharma is based on the vision. They have been disconnected somehow. Therefore, we were not able to answer many of the questions that arises in the minds of children, students. So this Purna Vidya program bridges the culture and the vision and answers all the questions that a student can raise about this culture. As it is said, children want to know why of everything. You can't dictate terms to them. They want to know why we have to follow this. Why I have to follow the values. Why I have to follow these rules. Why I have to follow this form. Varieties of questions are there. There are two things in this culture. One is form, another is the spirit. There is varieties of forms are there, beginning from Namaste. This is a form. Why we have to salute in this way? Somebody asks, a student asks, we have no proper answer. Why not I do this way? Why not I do that way? Hug. Therefore, this has got, this is a form, but there is a spirit behind that form. That spirit is lost. Like this, we have hundreds of forms in our day-to-day life. All of them have got certain spirit. Either we have forms without spirit, or we have spirit without form. Both are useless. The form and the spirit has to go together. Then only that will survive and flourish. This Purna Vidya will give that content for everything, content for every practice, and covers all aspects of our Sanatana Dharma. That is why it is a graded book. We have a graded exposition of our Dharma with all the aspects, including the literature, ending with spiritual Vedic literature. Each topic is very beautiful. We have to know that. Teachers have to know that. Therefore, it is a very right program to begin with, so that the message, the content of Purna Vidya can reach larger sections of the society of teachers. Thereby it comes down to the students. all of you should take this program seriously. Try to know not only for the children, for yourself. We have to know first. We are missing that. Therefore, all of you should take this very seriously and understand the implications of every topic, and then we can convey to the children. It is very well devised program, and Swamini has been taking it forward to many schools, conducting teacher training programs, and in Uttarakhand, this is the first step here on this day. I am sure this will go far ahead in pervading the schools in Uttarakhand and then to the adjacent states also. I wish this program all the best and let it bring fruits at the end of it. Om.
Thank you, Swamiji. As we listened, we were reminded that true knowledge lies in understanding and applying what we learn. Thank you, Swamiji, for guiding us with your wisdom. It is now our honor to invite our esteemed author, Swamini Pramanandaji, fondly addressed as Ammaji, to share her thoughts with us. They have inspired many through their words and work, and we are truly privileged to have her here today. May I request Swaminiji to address the gathering.
ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. ॐ Namaskaram to all of you, and my pranams to Swami Sakshat Kritanandji, Swami Swatma Vidyananda, and all the Swamis assembled here, and special namaskaras to the students of this wonderful institution. This is the place, the same ashram, 30 years ago, under the inspiration and vision of our great master, our Guru, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, that Purna Vidya was born. A visionary who saw this day 30 years ago. I remember very clearly, it was in 1990, that a wave, as Swaminiji beautifully said, when something comes from abroad or something from here touches there and then returns, somehow it carries the global vibrations. A need for culture, a deep need for cultural identity was felt in the first generation children growing up abroad. Puja Swamiji, our Guru, had an ashram in Pennsylvania. We had just set up that ashram in the 80s. And it was an ashram meant to spread the knowledge of Vedanta and Sanskritam. and a lot of Indians, the NRIs who go from India, who were the immigrant population in the US, they came, they would attend these retreats, these programs, but every time a retreat ended, the question was, what about our children? We are okay, Swamiji, what about our children? And our Guru would say, you are not okay, you first become okay. If you are okay, your children will be okay. But there was a panic in them because they had grown up in India. They had moved to a foreign land. And they were very keen on raising their children with the values and the cultural forms, traditions, customs, music, dance, and cultural, so many cultural elements. And the resistance in the children were phenomenal. The kids growing up in the foreign lands, for them that is their homeland, you know. India for them is their parents' home. For them that is their home. Those white kids in the neighborhood are their friends, their buddies, their playmates, their schoolmates. And therefore, they were so different from all those neighbors. The confusions, what looked wonderful in the home, when these kids stepped out of their house and began to play with these kids, other children, the local kids, whose parents had been there and grandparents had been there and they were growing up in few generations down the line, these kids were very awkward. They were awkward because their parents dressed differently. Their mothers came to school to drop them in their cars, and the children will tell the parents, don't get down, okay? You can say goodbye from here, don't get down. Why not? I want to meet your teacher. No, you are not going to meet my teachers. Why? Because mother had a puttu, a tikka. Or she had a nathani, a nose ring. Or she had her anklet. Or she had this red thick mark. She looked so peculiar among all these other kids and their parents who were dropping them off. There were reasons, the same parents that loved them, that took care of them, that they loved. Same parents that they cannot live without. They are there, everything for them. But when they step out of the house, they became sources of embarrassment, please understand. A grandmother comes from India and mother invites the neighbors. This grandmother is from a little village. And she has her village ways of sitting and eating and whatnot with one leg up, and especially a South Indian family, you know. We don't believe in eating with the fingers, we believe in using the whole hand. What looked so natural? What is wrong in that? It's my hand. I'm not eating with your hand. It's my hand. What's your problem? But it was, oh my God. This grandmother, she's so primitive. She's come from India and she's so primitive. She doesn't have table manners, how to sit. And so these are experiences that the children were going through, and with the kids, the parents were deeply hurt, deeply aggrieved. The conflict between an immigrant culture and the local culture was so exaggerated in the child's mind that, do you know something? These kids, very interesting, these children when they would see Indians in the community, they would speak in such Indian accent, and you will wonder, hey, are these kids really American kids growing up in America? Because they had the Indianness in their language. But the same kids, when they spoke to their classmates, they had all the slang, they had all the language, they had all the wherewithal, the body language, the accent, name it. They knew how to adapt. And adaptation was born of survival. It was this situation that these parents came to our Guru and said, please do something for them. Fortunately, I happened to be teaching. I was there in New York those days. I was teaching adult classes, children classes, teenage classes, whatever it takes in the community to share Vedantic wisdom. I was doing that for a few years. And so it was inevitable this project fell on my lap. And this work had to really evolve. The need was there, but how would it evolve? Who would guide? What would be the guidance? Is it going to be just these small little petty answers? Why you wear this, why you do that? Is it all about just why of things? Or is there something much, much more than just these topical pacifying, responses? No. Purna Vidya is not a pacifier. Purna Vidya is that Vidya that makes Vidya Purna. Education all over the world has been divided between religious and secular. Please understand this. Religious education is education in the madrasas and in your patashalas, and whichever faith it be, they have their own way of giving religious education, and if it's not religious, it is secular. Is it not? This is not the classification of the Bharatiya Sanskriti. Bharatiya Sanskriti is a Sanskriti that belongs to an indigenous wisdom of this land called the Vedic wisdom. We are children of a Vedic civilization if we are born and brought up on this soil. And in Vedic civilization, understand, Vidya is not religious and secular. Dve vidye veditavye paracha aparacha. Vidya is twofold. Knowledge of the objective world, objective sciences, the world of objects, and knowledge of the subject who goes about learning about the world. Both, there are two components of Vidya, which is the knowledge of the objects and the knowledge of the subject. As the Veda speaks, it talks about knowledge of the object as, of course, what we have in our school education system. It's all about knowledge of the objective world, your chemistry and biology and geography and whatnot, physics, etc., etc. But has there been any attempt to give knowledge of the subject? What is that? Who am I knowledge? Is there any university that gives who am I knowledge? There is no such thing. Yes, yaya yad aksharam adhigamyate. Knowledge of the subject is, when the Veda talks about knowledge of the subject, it talks about knowledge of the subject that is your highest nature. It gives us knowledge of each prani, each life as sacred, as divine, as reverential. And so, I'm not ready for that knowledge. Okay, you may not be ready for that knowledge, but if that is who you really are, in your limited life you are searching for something which is so permanent, something so deep. We are all looking for deep peace, are we not? All the time we wish each other, happy birthday and happy this and happy anniversary. We always want happiness. This happiness, is it a short-lived happiness or a lifelong happiness? A happiness that never will leave us, a peace that will ever remain with us. And is this just a myth? Is it a Brahma? Is it a delusion? Or is in this search there is a Sachai, there is a truth? In this search there is a truth, is what the Vedas say, because you are that eternal being. You are that sacred being. You are that being of light. How am I going to know this nature of mine? And do you know something? It is not just a Vedic vision of the subject called Paravidya. This vision is translated into a great, great age-old culture. Culture is the culture that speaks spirituality. It is the consciousness of the people of this country that speaks spirituality, that speaks sanctity. Today is the only culture in the planet that can boast of the boldness to worship a tree and a mountain and a river and a stone. The only culture that can boast, when every other ancient culture of our planet, that was called paganism, and it was destroyed, ruthlessly destroyed. Do you still not worship your Ganga? Sitting on her bank. Who are we? We belong to a sacred culture. हमारी पहचान है पवित्रता, दिव्यता. This Ma Ganga, you call her Ma not because, and you work for her to be pollution free. Hey, you want to re-establish her sabhyata, is Sanskriti की सभ्यता क्या है? पवित्रता, दिव्यता, है कि नहीं? And therefore, where does this concept of sanctity come? In every form. It comes from this vision of Advaita Vedanta. It comes from the vision of oneness. And so, yes, this knowledge of oneness is not just a head-based knowledge. Roam mein, in every cell, in every perception, in every expression. Puja Swamiji used to say, our Guru used to say, people say God is everywhere. But do you know something? His hometown is India. Yaad rakhna. His hometown is India because here every Indian does not treat God as a concept. वो एक विचार नहीं है, वो एक सोच नहीं है. He is a living reality in all the forms, in the way we look at the creation. और ये बातें, this cannot be just pushed down somebody's throat. This can only come to you through education. Please understand, para vidya, purna vidya. Vidya is apurna without purna vidya. All vidya in education is apurna. Why? Because it has left this lack of knowing who I am, what I am all about. Maybe I am not ready for a spiritual contemplative practices and becoming a yogi and a tapasvi. It's okay. You don't have to. Wherever you are, every place you walk is the sacred. ईशावास्यम इदम सर्वम. शास्त्र में और क्या है? And therefore, in light of this Advaita Vedantic vision, a great program took birth, and rightly so, on the bank of Ma Ganga. I began to do this writing with my Purvashrama brother in New York, and very soon we realized that the inspiration will only come back if we return to the bank of Ma. There's only so much the other Bhumi can provide you. And when I came back here to live here and do the research, Swami Sakshat Kritanandji was here too. Our Guru made us sit together, work very hard for this project. It took us 5 long years of day and night research and writing, running between Delhi and all Munshi Ram, Manohar Lal, Moti Lal. I know every street in Delhi. Because there was so much we didn't know. The more you try to write, the more you realize how little you know. We used our children, our classes, we asked them, Bhai, ye kaise hai? Do you like this topic? Nah, we don't like. Okay, we'll drop it. उनकी अनुमति से, बच्चों की अनुमति से, a 12-year program emerged, and this 12-year program was not just a program of textbooks. It was a 2-tier program where every topic that was created would have games. The text was for the teachers, but for the children, games, play, fill in the blanks, word search games, field work, give the right answer, so on and so forth. Lot of fun. Hundreds and hundreds of games were written. Guidelines to teaching were created. 12-year program emerged. And it's since 1992, these courses were launched. There are many, many communities all over the world. Many temple communities, not just schools. Schools was when we got this program in India. And we used this Dayananda Ashram to write the program. We didn't think that Indians need it. We only thought those NRI confused children need this program. Because माँ बाप संस्कृति में बड़े हुए, लेकिन संस्कृति को समझना भी कुछ विषय है, नहीं जानते थे. No parent knows that you have to understand Sanskriti in a classroom. You didn't grow up like that. I didn't grow up like that. We didn't need to understand because we had Shraddha. Whatever parents said, ठीक है, सर आँखों पे. We didn't care. But today's upbringing, kids care, over care. They know much more than you. And you don't tell them what to do, unless you are convincing enough, because they will tell you what you should be doing. They have learned enough logic and how to outdo you in arguments. That was not your training with your parents. Father looked at you sternly and you conceded. If today father looks at a child sternly, Bye, Dad. That's the end of it, isn't it? Times have changed. It's not their fault. There is so much pressure. Like Swaminiji said, with all this globalization, with the media, with all the information inputs on them, there is so much going inside, they don't know how to assimilate it all. And Bharat has just found its freedom after 1,000 years of oppressions. Never forget that. Don't just blame the Hindus. Look how disorganized we are. Look at our temples. Look at Amritsar temple. Look at this. Look. You can blame. We are very good in criticizing. Have we spent time to understand who we are? What great heritage we have? If we are apologetic about our culture and we are critical, you think you are qualified to give your children cultural education? Every child needs a sense of identity, you know. Identity. Bhai, ye garv hai mera. You look at the identity of a Mussalman. Identity. They're right or wrong, they don't think. We are who we are. Look at some of these faiths, how proud they are to continue doing wrong things. They don't think it is right or wrong. That garva. Bharat lost that garvam of its Sanskriti due to those 1,000 years of oppression. Never forget that. And we are just a generation or two later after post-independence India. It takes many generations for those complexes to go away. We are doing better today than we were doing 30 years ago. But that doesn't mean we still understand who we are. Purna Vidya has very, very intelligently looked into this matter. Our Guru has himself gone through every page and declared the authenticity of the material. There is not a word anywhere in that program which is not in line with Advaita Vedanta teachings. Today the world talks about oneness. Here our living culture shows oneness. It can show to the world that we can live in oneness. We can have multiple faiths and we can still live side by side. Our capacity to accommodate, to understand, to allow, let people be who they are, that magnanimity, that tenacity, the resilience that Bharatiya Sanskriti has, no other culture today in the planet can boast to come anywhere near us. Do you know of any? I don't. Please tell me, so I learn. I haven't found. But what I have found everywhere in Bharat is we are sleeping lions. In all our education, we continue to be so ignorant about the basic culture of our land. We want to become Brahmavits, but a simple practice we are unable to understand or own up. वो श्रद्धा टूटता जा रहा है, because as Swamiji said, a form is seen by us, but उसका अर्थ, उसके पीछे क्या है? What is the spirit behind the form is not known to us. संस्कृति है, लेकिन ये क्यों? ये जो क्यों है ना, that has really disempowered us before our next generation. And therefore, Purna Vidya program is really for adults first. पहले हम तो सीखें. Starting with Panchatantra for standard 1, Puranic tales for standard 2, Ramayana standard 3, Bhagavatam standard 4, Mahabharata standard 5, Value of Values standard 6, Ishvara and religious and Vratams. Vrat क्या है? What is Vrat? उपवास. कौन किसने कहा उपवास ही व्रत है? What is bhakti? What is upasana? What is the meaning of Om? What is gotra? Why are these things there? It is so unique to us. What is a religious culture? Why do we worship all these what they call monkey gods and so on? You use a wrong word in the English language and you shoot down our practices. That's precisely how you destroyed the ancient practices of the Western world. We are not going to allow that. I love my Hanuman, and he's not a monkey god for me. He's a Vanara. A Vanara race is not a monkey race. Narova. And therefore, there is so much. What is dharma? When the world talks about right and wrong in absolute terms, this is one culture that had the rahasyam to understand that dharma is relative. A right can appear as wrong, a wrong can appear as right. ये व्यक्ति right है या wrong है, हम ही confused हैं. Such situations, it shows. The whole literature describes such situations. You call Sri Rama Dharma Purusha. And he tells Sumantra when he is going to the forest, come on, let us move. Gacha, gacha, let us move. And Pishe se the Raja is saying from behind, Raja Dasharatha, Tishtha. Don't go, wait. Sri Rama says, listen to me. It's called do bosses, you know. You have two bosses, both talk opposite instruction. What are you going to do? Sumantra is confused. Should I move or should I wait? And Sri Rama, the Dharma Purusha, tells Sumantra, listen to me. Of course he will say that. Don't listen to the Raja, listen to me. But I know you are afraid that when you come back to Ayodhya after dropping me in the forest, he will call you and say, why did you not listen to me? You can be beheaded. I'll tell you what you should tell him. Tell the Raja, if he asks you anything, tell him, na ashrausham. हमने नहीं सुना. आपने कुछ कहा, हमने सुना ही नहीं. I didn't hear. This Dharma Purusha, is he teaching truth or is he teaching to bluff? Figure out your Dharma. This is how we teach Dharma in Purna Vidya, understand? You make a child think what is right and wrong, and when right will be wrong and wrong can become right. The relative contextual nature of right and wrong, you can never teach a child without being able to show it in life situations. Beautifully. It's not just about storytelling, it is about understanding archetypes. These are archetypal beings who teach us for eternal years how to understand Dharma. Mahabharata does the same. Puranas have their own amazing process to make you a true bhakta. We will look into all of this in the next 2 days. Understand, it's only a glimpse, okay? आपने हमें सिर्फ 2 दिन दिया, हम क्या करें? हम तो भागते हुए आए 10 दिन के लिए. But of course, ashram is here, we have great teachers, acharyas here. Swamiji has done many trainings before. Swamiji himself knows every page of this book. And so you have phenomenal support from this ashram. For every school in Uttarakhand, this place is the inspiration. Not only because of our great acharyas trained by our guru, because Ma Ganga is right here with us. She is Sakshi to the birth of these books. We talk about Agama Shastra, Shilpa Shastra, Ayurveda, Dhanurveda. All the knowledge traditions of Bharat is there in the books. There is just so much. A child who goes through 12 years of this education, he never remains the same, let me tell you. I've seen many generations. Over the years, the pride, that something, that identity, the joy of being a Hindu, of being born in an ancient civilization that still takes pride to say, hey, we are a living culture, not a dead culture sitting in a library. हमको समझने के लिए वो किताब खोलो. No, look at us. We are a living tradition. And so this is what Purna Vidya is about. And we are so, so happy. Today is my happiest day, really, because we needed this school to be with us. We needed to have our own little school that can become the model beginning of showing that such a possibility is there. And we have also Uttarakhand government very much with us. They're also looking into spiritual education because children, it is very clear, we are making them brilliant we are training them to be good survivors in the world, good researchers. But inside they are more and more fragile. They are more and more distracted. And so it has been upscaled, the need is upscaled in our country. And the government sector is looking into this. And our guest special guest who was supposed to be here, he's in fact, I don't know what happened, and I'm dragging my talk so that he will come. I want him here. He's on the way, we just spoke to him. He's Mr. Mishra ji, who's the secretary of Sanskrita Sanstha board of Uttarakhand government. And he is taking up 50 schools this year in Haridwar, Rishikesh, Dehradun. And some of the teachers are here from, I think, Sanskrita Vidyalaya. Is it not? Aap aaye hain, haan. So I spoke to him. He said he's reached Natraj Hotel. I think traffic has been very, very bad. Aaye hue? Aap hain. Aap आइए. Yes, please, आप आइए. आगे आइए, यहाँ आइए. Yeah, we didn't recognize you. Please come. We had conversations. I never met him. Namaskar. Om. And so we are really, it's a great boost for us. We have another school here with us, and this is going to grow. It must grow if we want to save our next generation. I don't want to belong to a generation where the future generation says, सब कुछ बढ़िया था, जब ये generation आया ना, इन्होंने हमको कुछ नहीं दिया. They were this older generation of this age group, they are the ones who messed it up. I don't want to belong to a generation like that. We are a generation that can really give. We have all technology, we have all ways, and so we are here to serve our society. We are here to really bring this awakening. And thank you all for being very good listeners, and I've taken a lot of your time. But from tomorrow, we're going to have a very intense program. So make sure you're here on time. I would say it 15 minutes earlier, because it's going to be a great journey. It's a journey into yourself. The more you understand a culture that you're living, it is not something else. It's not an outside thing. ये आप हो. आपकी संस्कृति, आप है स्वरूप अपनी संस्कृति का. And so when we talk Sanskriti, we are talking about you. We're talking about us. And so it's a great joy to move in this rhythm next 2 days. So make sure you're part of it. And really we take this opportunity to welcome you again. And it was last minute, but really, and we can, yeah, offer him. Yes, thank you all. Namaskar.
Thank you, Swaminiji. We are sure everyone here has gained valuable perspectives from your address. We sincerely appreciate your time and presence with us. It is our great honor to introduce someone truly exceptional. Our special guest brings a wealth of experience, insight, and inspiration. Please join us in giving a very warm welcome to Shri Padmakar Mishra ji, Secretary, Sanskrit Siksha Board, Uttarakhand. He is here with us with his 22 teachers, and we feel honored to share this news with you all that in the next few years, we have about 50 schools which will be part of this teacher training program, and they will be running Purva Vidya in their schools. Let's give a round of applause to Sri Mishra ji. And now I request Mr. Agarwal ji to present a shawl and mala to welcome Shri Mishra ji. Thank you, sir. May we now request our special guest to kindly share a few words with us.
Thanks. The rich, enlightened, and prosperous dais, I highly oblige and I pranam, my sincere and heartiest pranam and namaskar to Puja Guruji, Swamiji, and attending learned of this institute, including those who are attending this training program, and I welcome you all on behalf of my concerning department, Sanskrit Shiksha Parishad Uttarakhand. I express my sincere gratitude for being a part of this program. I am highly obliged that you all invited us, our teachers, and they will get a chance to unite you, and they will get a chance also to be familiar with our traditional values and traditions, what we are imparting to global level and what we are collecting at our grassroots. Someday our efforts will scatter its fragrance and it will bloom into a whole unit and sincerely I am seeing in future that we are heading to be the Vishwaguru and making it a true concept. We are the inheritors and we are the providers for it to future generation. I am highly obliged also if our teachers of the present generation carry it on to the next one. It will be a great pleasure to carrying something invaluable and providing it to future. I am also a part of it. I have been teacher since 12 years in some government college in Champawat district of your respected state. Since 7 or 8 years I have joined this department and I am trying to provide my full mirth, my effort and attempt to bring the effort of our sages, our rishis, to be a full empowered union and a unit which may create a light for those who are seeking the light, to uplift their personality, to advance their knowledge and advance towards knowledge and our great traditions. I am highly obliged and thankful to you all, and I am not in position to say very boasting words or much sentences, because our sincere effort may come true. It is our wishes, and our works are true valuers of what we are doing, and they will set what I am doing, what our team is doing, and that's all. Very, very great thanks for kindly inviting me here and being a part of this training program. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mishra ji, for your inspirational words. We now request Swami Sakshat Kritananda ji to distribute the training kits to the participants. We invite the teachers to come row by row to collect their training kits from Swamiji. So we'll start from the first row. Only the teachers who are participating in the program, please come forward, but please come row by row.
Vandehum Sharadam Visharadam Jnanadam Varadam Vandehum Sharadam Suddha Sattva Swarupini Swachha Hridaya Nivasini Suddha Sattva Swarupini Swachha Hridaya Nivasini